All right. So today we are talking about long-term investing, long-term investment. All right. Um, so there are a few things to take note of because in a long-term investment, right, we want to look at um, the health of the stock or any other crypto uh, core commodities like gold or anything. All right. So the health of the stock. And what do we look out for? We want to have exponential growth. Right? I talked about this in my slides before. Exponential growth. Okay, so I'll just show you a simple chart. This is Apple. Okay, this is Apple. You can see the growth of Apple, right? Is like exponential. Okay, maybe I have like a tool that I can draw. Yeah, maybe a brush like that. You can see the you can see the graph is exponential, and many long-term investors choose this kind of um, stock, right? So why do people choose Apple instead of other stocks? All right, because if you look at exponential growth, the drawdown, right? The drawdown is not much, which also means the recovery is much faster. You can see it. You can see here, it dropped down, but the recovery is much faster. Okay, this is super important for long-term investment because the number one thing that you want for long-term investment is you want to have wealth preservation. This is by Warren Buffett. All right, wealth preservation. So you need to understand like the overall health of a stock, and then you pick the one that has exponential growth. So let's take a look. Stock that is not exponential. So this is my kind of stock, not stock. This is crypto, Ethereum. You look at this. This is a disaster for long-term investing, and I invest in this because at that time I don't know what is investment. Uh, oh yeah, the brush. Right. So if you look at this, right, I'm I'm looking. I want a really nice, like a exponential curve, right? But Ethereum it doesn't have that. So let's take a look. If you can see Ethereum, right, if it goes up really a lot. When it comes down almost at the same time as you buy, right? It's so scary. For long-term investment, right, you'll be thinking, okay, so I waited this long, I didn't take any profit, and it come back down, and all my years are wasted, right? So this is not what we want as a long-term investment. See here from November 21 to June 22, it's a few months, right? This is during the COVID period. Yeah, so during COVID period, it dropped really, really a lot. and people don't know when it will recover. At that time, we all think, right, like crypto is really going to zero because a lot of bad things happening in the world, right? And then the recovery is not that smooth because if you look very closely here, the recovery, right, couldn't break the previous high. It took many years to break the previous high. So this is August 2025, and this is November 2021. It took 5 years to come back to this point. This is incredibly painful. Okay, so let's go back to Apple. I think a COVID period is around this area. Actually, I have no idea. Can't remember already. But basically, I think you get the idea is when COVID hits, which what kind of stock will recover the fastest? You see here, it has already broken out. It has already broken out the previous the downfall, right? It only take around not even a year, not even a year. It already break out of the previous highs, right? So this is the power of exponential stocks. Yeah, so this is the power of exponential stocks. The drawdown is not much and the recovery is much faster, right? So if you want to pick stocks that is for long-term investment, right? I will choose Apple. I will choose Apple. Oh my god. Okay. I will choose Apple. And then we go down to Microsoft. So Microsoft, you look, it's the same thing, right? Exponential. I think this is when the COVID hits. This is when the tariff hits, right? You can see the recent tariff, right? The recent tariff, I think is around here. It took how long to recover? It's around a few months only, right? COVID is a bit harsh, so I think it takes a longer time, right? So that this is around around 1 year, cause it's December already. So like you just think it of January lah, January to 2023. This almost like 1 year. You took 1 year to recover, compared to um, stocks or crypto that is not exponential growth. It will take 4 to 5 years. That's insane. Okay, that's really insane. So I think you get the idea now. So for long-term investment, look for exponential stocks. Facebook is also pretty exponential. Okay, gold, gold is confirm exponential. Okay, why? So gold, right? Gold is when the world, right, has uncertainty, gold will rise. So as long as the world has uncertainty, gold will always rise. So this is a exponential, like a going to Mars kind already. Okay, so this is gold. Then you can look at also like S&P 500. This is also exponential. Amazon can consider like exponential lah. Okay, so this is something that David showed me also. All right, when I look at this, right, I look at Ethereum also. So look at this at the time. I think when COVID hit, then long-term investment, right? How long do you take to recover? This is almost like 2 years, right? So if you have long-term investment in stocks that are not exponential, right? You need to have the heart to think uh, when will it recover? The previous highs. Yeah. So it took like 2 years. I think it's 1 year plus lah. 1 year plus. So compared to Apple, yeah, compared to Apple, it's also around 1 year. No, a few months, less than a year. Yeah. So this is what I always look for: exponential growth, because it will preserve your wealth, right? Long-term investment is all about preserving your wealth. Meta, Amazon, you know, I think the best one, right, is S&P 500. Maybe Nasdaq also, because I can't remember. I don't have Nasdaq here, so maybe let me check. Nasdaq NQ. Yeah, so you can see Nasdaq is also exponential. Yeah, so exponential growth will always protect your wealth. Okay, so now we want to see when to buy and when to sell, right? I think this is the most important thing: when to buy and when to sell. Okay, so the first thing is we want to look for exponential growth. Number one, exponential growth. Stocks, crypto, gold. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't share Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is also exponential. If you look at this, of course, the when COVID hits, it's also like damn crazy. But you recover really, really high. So if you have the heart to tank the drawdown, right? From here on is exponential. So the key question is when to buy, right? Because if you know how to buy this area, you will know how to profit at this area. Very simple. Okay. So let's take a look back to Apple. When to buy and when to sell. Okay. So I'll pull up this indicator. So this indicator, right? When there is this curve below and there is a green dot, you can look for buys. So just look at this. The indicator put green and the wave is going downwards. I put a buy. And then the wave came up to this red dot. I take a sell. The sell is, yeah, right here. Look at how much. how much I could have earned. 36.5%. All right. So same thing here. Here there is this green dot. So I'll just take a buy. And then here there is a red dot. There's a red dot here. Should be around here. Yup, around here. This is 36.3%. For Apple, this Apple, all right, 36.5%, 36.3%. All right. So the number one thing is, okay, this is also very important. Do not try to short the do not try to short the stock. Do not try to short like that. Because if you understand the stock, right? If you understand a stock, the stock is always going up. So if you try to sell and make profit from it, right, you're gonna get uh very painful losses. Okay, so let's move back again. So you see there's a green dot here. I'll buy here, and then I'll sell here. That's 13%. Then here there's a green dot, and then the red dot is around here. Yeah, so this is 41.9%. Okay, so you just move back, and then you just test, what kind of stock. So let's say you buy here as well, right? You buy here the green dot lah, basically exactly at the green dot. When it appears, you can just buy, or you can wait for the next week to buy. Also can, like, no problem. The stock will not run away, right? You just sell at the red dot. I think the red dot is around here. Yeah, so same thing, 26%. So you get the idea. As long as the chart, right, has a blue wave below, and then there's a green dot, it's a time to buy. And then when it comes to red, it's a time to sell, right? So that's how it works. So let's take a look at Microsoft. So every chart, right, you will see 14 April, there is a buy, right? What is 14 April? If you look at the world, right, 14 April is when Trump introduced the tariffs. So here there is a red dot. The red dot is around here. So this is 41.5%. So we just move back to where there is a blue wave below, and then there is a green dot. So right here, and then the red dot is around here. Okay, so not so much, but it's still 17.5%, right? So when we buy right, I think you can slowly, like, take profit, because the stock may go up as well, keep going up. Like change of character, right? So I think yesterday I talked about change of character. So once there is a change of character at this area, price will explode. Same thing. If price go above this area, price will explode. If price go above this area, price will explode. Yeah. So just have patience. Let price do its thing. So for now is just getting the idea, like when to buy, when to sell. Okay, so here, right, it says a buy. I'll show you what are the good things about this indicator and what are the bad things. Okay, so here is a buy, and then after that he tell me to kind of sell at this area. That is like around 2%. But why the indicator is like not really functioning? You have to understand this area, right? This particular area is when COVID happens. So that is why the the indicator is telling you a different story now. But if you have the patience to hold it during like COVID period, right? Then I find that you know you can you can last to I mean you can hold your investment further, because sometimes the indicator will tell you to buy when it is a downtrend, right? And this time, right, is a COVID period. So sometimes the indicator is not so profitable when bad things happen in the world. Okay. So compared to the Ethereum that I bought, I kind of buy based on the indicator lah. I buy here. Then when did it tell me to sell? It tell me to sell at this area though. It tell me to sell at this area when I bought here, right? So it doesn't make sense. And why does it not make sense? Because Ethereum is not exponential growth. It's not always going up. So that is why the huge drawdown will hurt a lot of investors. So always look for exponential growth. Even if it drop, right, you buy in, you just hold for less than a year, you hold for 1 year, you will recover back your losses or the drawdown. Okay. So how do I get this indicator? It's called the Wu-Manchu Cipher B plus divergence. Yeah. So if you have trading view, you search for this indicator and then you add this in, you just play around, like look at all the stocks. I recommend you to use the weekly chart only, because long-term investment is about holding for months, holding for years. So look at the weekly chart and use the Wu-Manchu indicator. Then you just play around. You like this I don't know, like you like Microsoft, for example. Then you just look through, oh okay, so it's exponential, it's a good thing to invest in. Then when do I buy? I buy at the blue wave that goes below and the green dot. Blue wave that goes below and then the green dot. But this is COVID period, so you have to split your risk. So maybe here you put like 3,000, then here again 3,000, then you slowly go back up to take profits. All right. So there are different scenarios that you can use this indicator, right? For tariffs, this is a really good push up. For COVID, not so good thing around the world, you still can buy and then hold for profits next time, because you buy at a lower price, right? So nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So that is how it works. Exponential growth stocks, crypto, gold, and when to buy and when to sell. And then the indicator is Woman True Cypher B plus divergence. Yeah. All right. So that's all for long-term investment.